Broadcasting live from SETI Alpha 6 in the Andromeda Galaxy, this is Mr. C.
Well, I've got good news for you. Happy Aloha Friday. And I have more good news. It's the end of the quarter. And I have further good news. No weekend homework. And even more good news. Next week, fall break. And I have extra good news. There might be an end of the quarter celebration treat, let's say. Don't get too excited. Nothing massive. At period's end, depending on how well you cooperate. So I'll let Mr. Gilbert analyze your behavior throughout the period and let me know how it goes. Okay. Hey, I wanted to remind you about Psalm 139, 13, and 14, and then about Genesis 1:26, and some super cool things about them. Psalm 139, for you form my inward parts. You knitted me in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it full well. And then Genesis 1:26, then God said, let us, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, make man in our image, in our likeness. Now I'm trying to super glue a few ideas in your brain and in your soul. Pardon me. And the really wonderful, amazing thing is, here's the Lord of the universe, and he's so humble that he's willing, and the other members of the Trinity, to share a little bit of their likeness with us, with little bitty lowly us, to make us a little bit like them. And then, pardon me, not only that, allergies, and then he designs our physical appearance, and he likes what he designed. He likes his plan, his design of us. He designs our personality using the DNA that he passed on to us from our parents. And then he loads up our, what I call GoTappy package. GoTappy. G-O-T-A triple P-I. G-O-T-A triple P-I. What does that stand for? Gifts, opportunities, the O, talents, abilities, physical appearance, personality, and then a great purpose. And then he puts us on the planet. And why did he give us this GoTappy package? Why? Because he loves us, and he wants us to enjoy it, and he wants us to use it to glorify him, to make him look good, to be salt and light, to explain what he's done for us. How cool is all of that? Just a great purpose. So if you ever get really down and think, well, I don't really have any reason for... What? Are you serious? We have such a tremendous reason and purpose for being alive. And we can never think thoughts like that. Now, it could creep in once in a while. And that's why I want you to remember Genesis 1:26 and Psalm 139, 13, and 14, and the corresponding ideas. Now, part of our abilities, my daughter Laura talked about when she talked about curiosity. Are you curious? Are you developing curiosity? Curiosity is such a wonderful gift. Mr. C, do you still have curiosity? I am loaded with curiosity. Do you? And I am trying all the time to ask questions like, well, why did that happen? What caused that? What is that? What's going on there? So, and I wonder what that is. And That's why I'm so happy about Google. I can Google really quick. It used to be my World Book Encyclopedia set that I'd used 20 years ago that you have no clue about, that you've never heard of. But anyway, what a wonderful thing as part of our GoTappy package that God makes us curious, so we wander around the planet every day wondering about things and wanting answers to things. Just the opposite of a boring life. It's just really cool. Super cool. Okay. So, hey, something serious that I've thought about, and I thought, you know what, I should have addressed that at the beginning of the year, and I didn't much. And it's my bad, my fault. What is the topic? Well, the topic is this: honesty. You know, like honesty before a test, honesty during a test, during a quiz, grading anything, a worksheet, a little optional quiz like I've been doing lately, grading those. Do you know what happens when you're honest? You make God look good. You please Jesus. He's pleased with you and me when we're honest. You please your parents. You make them look good. You really do. And you have a clear conscience. You walk around going, I'm an honest person. And I have nothing kind of to worry about in my conscience. So the bad things that happen if someone isn't honest, let's say they cheat. You know, they look at someone else's paper. Okay? They really didn't do that worksheet on their own, and you're supposed to when you do a worksheet. It's supposed to be you who did it, not someone else, not someone else's answers. Or on a test, where you glance over at someone else's paper, write it down. You know what happens? A bunch of not so good things. Number one, Jesus is not so pleased. Now, he forgives us when we confess it to him. When we admit it, it says that in 1 John. If we confess, he's faithful to forgive. So, but you don't have to worry about confessing it if you didn't do it. You didn't cheat. So that happens. Then you not only break trust with Jesus, you break trust with your parents. Because when you cheat, you're breaking trust with them. Do your parents want you to be honest? You bet they do. Do they want you to be honest under every circumstance, in every context? Oh yeah, I guarantee it. Having 3 children, you want your kids to be honest. Okay, so you break trust with your parents. Then you know who you break trust with? You break trust with your teachers. And then there's a little bit of doubt in the back of their mind. Because if you're caught cheating, a teacher notices you cheating, or a parent notices you cheating on something you were supposed to do and you're kind of cutting corners on it, and you break trust with them, it's tough to gain that trust back. It's tough. It takes time. Because in the back of your teacher's mind, your parents' mind, are they cheating now? Are they being honest? I wonder. A little bit of doubt. Put in the back of your parents' mind and your teacher's mind. And then they're a bit more observant about your behavior. They kind of pay attention, because if you cheat once, they start paying attention to you more. Kind of just seeing if you're honest. So here's what I'm calling for. Here's what I'm asking. And then I'm going to tell you what the consequences will be if you cheat. Okay? So we are looking at, during a quiz or test or grading a worksheet, you to not look to the left or right. I think I've said that before. I think so. Okay? For you not to talk. For you to use a red pen, no other pens or pencils. For you to initial down below your promise to the Lord, and me that you're honest, and yourself, really. Okay. So, if someone is observed cheating, here's what will happen. Their name's going to go down on Mr. Gilbert's list. I've instructed him to use his eagle eyes all the time, especially when grading, to look, write people's names down, and then talk to them about it afterwards. If they deny it, then we'll pass it on to Mr. Bynum to sort it out. We'll tell him that we observed this person cheating, but they denied it. So we'll ask you to have a talk with Mr. Bynum, and my guess is you'll admit it. And then your parents will be called. Ooh, that's a break trust with parents. Yeah. So, and probably then a detention will occur because you lied and you cheated. So 2 things. So anyway, I'm just calling you to commitment of being 1,000% honest in all you do, in every context, whether it's sports, not cutting corners like at practice, which is a form of cheating, really. When you don't do your best and you're kind of pretending that you did, that's cheating, really a form of lying. Cheating is a form of lying. So anyway, I'm calling you to commitment, to be honest in every context, at home, on the athletic field, on the court, here in the classroom, outside during break. Just tell yourself, I'm going to be an honest person. It's for the best because it's, number one, pleases God. So anyway, work hard at it. Mr. C, were you an honest kid when you were in school? I would say my parents did a great job of building into me a desire to be honest. Did you ever cheat? Sure I did. Did you have a soft conscience? I did. It really bothered me when I messed up. It was kind of almost like a pain in my soul, kind of. So anyway, just throwing all that out and hope that you'll work really hard at it. All right, speaking of grading and being honest, here's a test to see how honest you are. Are you an honest person? Prove it right now. Take out 51E, red pen only, all other pencils away. Any questions that you didn't fill in, mark them wrong right now. Right now. Mark them wrong right now. Mr. Gilbert's observing very closely right now. And as we grade this, and half a point each on this, I asked you to do 3 extras, didn't I? Number 10, Newton's law of action, reaction, orbital velocity, and escape velocity down there at the end. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Newton's law of action, reaction. For every action, there's an equal, that's equal sign, equal and opposite reaction. Action, equal, opposite reaction. So number 1 is reaction. Number 2 is action. Number 3 is E, thrust, a reaction force. 4 is C as in Charlie, velocity a rocket must achieve to orbit Earth. Number 5, D for multi-stage rocket, stages placed on top of one another. Number 6, F is escape velocity, velocity to fly beyond a planet's gravitational pull. So the moon, the Apollo missions to the moon had to get going 25,000 miles an hour to escape the gravity of the Earth. That's escape velocity. And then number 7, A, reaction force. Number 9, number 9, G for rocket. And that's 8. Number 9, B, as in Bravo for velocity. So here they are again. Number 3, E as in Echo, 4, C as in Charlie, 5, D as in Delta, 6F as in Frank, 7A as in Alpha, 8G as in George, and 9B as in Bravo. Number 10, Newton's law of reaction. Reaction says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, half a point each on these. And then orbital velocity, the speed needed to get into orbit, that's 17,500 miles an hour. And then escape velocity, the speed needed to escape Earth's gravitational force, 25,000 miles an hour. This is worth 6 points. Chance to be honest. So being totally honest, number right over 6 at the top, half off for each. And then please pass that into the center. Initial down below if you didn't. Your promise to the Lord and me that you'd grade that honestly. And then tides. I just wanted to explain about tides. Didn't you think those tide videos were pretty good? Anyway, I did. So especially the one of the Bay of Fundy rising over 6 hours and then falling over 6 hours. Folks, the total range is the greatest on Earth. 52 feet of range in rise and fall. That the distance, the total distance, 52 feet. Wow. By the way, the Bay of Fundy is in Canada, in the province of Nova Scotia. Okay, really quick, I wanted to show you these different kinds of tides again. Okay, here at new moon and at full moon, what are those? Those are high tides known as spring tides. And then over here at, let's go first quarter and third quarter, what are those called? Neap tides. Now, spring tide doesn't have anything to do with the season. It means the water springs forth. It really comes up, in other words. And neap means the idea of moderate or medium tide. So over here, it's not a high tide. It's sort of in between high and low tide, here and here. Neap meaning moderate. Okay, a moderate tide. Okay, so hey, I've got, let's see, how many quick questions for you? I've got 10 quick questions for you on the moon. Hey, another opportunity to be honest. So on your white sheet, so if you'll quickly, you've got 7, right? Number to 7. I think I had that up in the do nows. Number to 7, really fast. Okay, let's see how you go on this. Okay, the dark areas of the moon, the Maria, and I'm bringing in Mr. Moonhead again. Okay, the dark areas on the moon, what are they made of? What material? Now, you're looking at your own paper. You're not looking around. You're being honest about this. Number 2, what's the temperature like on the moon? You can either give the exact plus number on the sunny side and then minus number on the dark side, or a general answer. Number 2. Number 3, why the temperature situation on the moon? What's the reason? An explanation. Bullet fact. Number 3, why are the temperatures like that on the moon? Number 3. You're doing it fast. It's just review. Number 4, why is there only like a 16% of your Earth gravity and weight on the moon? What's the reason for that? Something about the moon. What about it? Why low gravity and why low weight? What's the reason? Number 5. Let's see where it is. Mr. Moonhead taught you about a 1-to-1 ratio. What was that 1-to-1 ratio? One something for every one something else. What is it? 1-to-1 ratio. What is it? 2 words will suffice. We'll be fine. 2 words. Number 6, what are the major gases that are found in the atmosphere on the moon? So just a short answer for that. Major gases in the moon's atmosphere, number 6. then number 7. Besides the smooth dark areas on the moon, what is the other obvious visual thing that you see on the moon? Besides smooth dark areas, what's the other main thing you see? What is it? Okay, here are the answers really quick. The dark areas on the moon, the Maria, are made of lava, of course. What's the temperature like on the moon? Big temperature swing. That would have been enough, or plus 270, minus 270. Now, if you had plus 270, minus 270, I'm going to let you get a bonus point to take a place of one that you missed. Okay? Excuse me. Why are the temperatures the way they are? Why a big temperature swing on the moon? Number 3, no atmosphere. No atmosphere. Number 4, why 1/6 gravity and low weight? What's the reason? Low mass. That's the reason. The moon doesn't have a lot of mass or a lot of matter. And then number 5, what did Mr. Moonhead teach us? 1-to-1 revolution to rotation, or rotation to revolution. 1-to-1 ratio there. Number 6, the major gases in the atmosphere. There are none. Doesn't have any atmosphere. It was a trick question. No, it wasn't. So if you knew it, you knew it. And then, by the way, the answer in number 3 was no atmosphere, so they connect, they correspond. And number 7, what's the other visual feature besides the smooth dark areas? Craters from asteroid meteorite impact, from asteroids and meteorites. So there you have it. So I'd like you to dedicate now a journal page. Please dedicate a journal page in your journal. I thought we were handing in our journals today. You are. But we're going to do this first, this activity. So you're going to dedicate a journal page. And I'd like you to, in fact, this will end up being a couple of pages, 2 or 3 pages. And then I'd like you to put at the top, God of Wonders, at the top of this journal page. Will I look for this over the weekend when I'm looking to see if you've been filling out your journal? Oh, yeah. So the dedicated journal page, God of Wonders. I'll explain in a little bit. God of Wonders. Okay? And then, so the last thing you're going to do is look at just 6 minutes of this awesome video called God of Wonders. But before that, I'm going to take you to the moon. I'm going to show you the last 5 minutes of the Apollo 11 descent onto the moon. So it traveled all the way to the moon, separated from the spacecraft that got it there, and then went down to the moon using its retro rockets, action, reaction, action down toward the moon, reaction away. So it kind of came down slowly. It broke, slowed it down, broke the speed as it came into the moon. They wanted to land in a certain place called the Sea of Tranquility. It's in the Maria. It's smooth, but there are craters. In fact, the last little bit, you will see a big crater that as they were coming down at the last minute, in the last minute or so, they had to dodge this crater. They had to fly over it. Well, the commander, I think it was Neil Armstrong, the astronaut, there were 2 astronauts in the lander coming down. He was actually flying it manually as they were coming down. And you'll hear them say, so much down, so much over. He's moving down, moving over as he slows. And he missed this crater, and then they ended up setting down on the moon's surface with only 30 seconds or less of fuel in their retro rockets, or they would have had to go back up to the mothership that was orbiting the moon. So it was scary and tense, and I'm sure it was stressful for the astronauts for the last little bit. So you're going to watch the last 5 minutes, and you'll see a number of craters come into view as they get closer and closer to the Earth. I'm not quite sure how high they are when you check in at the 5-minute mark, maybe a mile high, and they're coming in pretty fast. So anyway, hope you'll enjoy it. Then you're going to watch the God of Wonders video, and you're going to write down 2 divine designs from the God of Wonders video and 1 creation argument. I'd like you to just watch it, not do any writing while you're watching it, and then at the end, Mr. Gilbert will give you a little time on the end to write 2 divine designs from the first 6 minutes and 1 argument that there's got to be a creator from science, a creation argument. And then I've got a quick knock-knock joke for you. Knock, knock. Who's there? Hawaii. Hawaii who, right? I'm fine. Hawaii you. Pretty funny, huh? So anyway, watch those 2 videos. Enjoy going down to the moon. So I think you'll enjoy it. So hope you have a great weekend. Happy Aloha Friday. See you on Monday.